Hi, this is Chrissy Incognito, and welcome to another episode of my show. Now, you might be wondering why I'm incognito. This is my alter ego that can say things that I cannot otherwise say unless I was incognito. So, thank you for returning. In order to understand more about this episode, view the previous episode. Happy listening. Hi, and thank you for returning. Now, you might notice that the background of the studio is a little bit different. We're just trying things out and seeing how it works. Okay. But I do appreciate you returning. Now, this episode is entitled Andrew and Mark. Now, Mark has the name of multiple people of my channel. So, um, his actual name is more significant in other episodes, so we will call him Mark. And the reason why we're calling him Mark is because he looks like Richard Mark, even though it's Richard Mark, even though I'm naming him Mark because he looks like him. Okay. Okay. So this is after Paul. Paul and I maybe see each other here and there with our friends and his friends and stuff like that. So I mentioned in another episode how when after the mall closed, there would be an arcade. Okay. And my friends and I were not interested so much in the arcade, but we were interested in the guys who went to the arcade. Okay. So we would go there and we it was the summer of 1991 and it was awesome. It was great. I had two friends and I would hang over one of my friends' house and their neighbor had a pool and their neighbor worked a lot. So they said use the pool anytime. So we were at the pool, we were at her pool, we were at the beach, we were at the arcade in the mall. What more could you ask, right? In 1991. Okay. So So I'm a free agent at this point, and there was a guy. Now there were so many rocker looking guys. So it was this one and that one and that one and this one. And all of a sudden, this particular guy pulled up on a motorcycle. Now it wasn't a Harley, it was probably some Honda, whatever. But he pulls up in a motorcycle and he takes off his helmet and I was in love. I as 17-year-old, I was in love, right? So I will try to post a picture of what Andrew looked like. Um, so I never really noticed Johnny Depp much. I mean, I knew he was an actor and I knew he was around and I knew kids or girls swooned over him. But I didn't really because that wasn't my scene, right? My scene were rockers, or as we modernly call them, hair bands, right? So I wasn't paying attention to any movies or TV shows or anything like that. So when he took off his helmet, and I realized this later on, he looked like a Johnny Depp with long hair down to his waist. Okay. Um, I didn't realize that until one day there was like a commercial for one of Johnny Depp's commercials, of movies at that time. It was like, and I was like, and then I had to go see the movie. Yeah, I was stupid enough to go see the movie, right? Anyway, so Andrew was a little bit older than me and he lived in the area. I didn't really live in the area. Me and my friends lived about 20 minutes away. So he lived in the area and so he would go there frequently. I remember that he was dating this redhead. Okay, but seriously, he was dating this redhead that was not attractive. And that's okay. I mean, hello. I mean, I've obviously you could say I've had a lot of boyfriends. I didn't feel attractive, okay? But she was mean as hell, okay? So that was sort of the difference. And she would like chastise him and say what he was doing wrong and then be possessive and say, "Come home." Well, they weren't living together, but, stop being at the arcade and whatnot. And I just remember thinking, like, and he was very, like, laid back, he was nice, he seemed to have some sort of future. I mean, as a 17-year-old, like, the fact that you're going to college is like, "Ooh, an older man," right? That's all I see. I don't see, like, "Oh, you're on the right track, or you have some kinda track and you're headed in a direction." So we would all meet at, the arcade. Now, there was this guy, and that I named Mark, who started to like me, okay? And I did not like him back. I just and it was nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Richard Marks, okay? But that wasn't my scene. My scene was Andrew, and I'll he kinda looks like Rachel Bolan from Skid Row, and you're not gonna know who that is if you're under 50, but I will post a picture of Rachel. So, I mean, I went gaga, we started to talk, there isn't much to impress on a 17-year-old. All you have to do is smile and talk, right? And I'm like, "I'm hooked." So, Mark, liked me, okay? And again, at that time, you're exchanging all phone numbers and, talking when you're not at the arcade and all of that. So, I get Andrew's number, Andrew gets mine. Mark gets mine, I get his, I get other people's. It's just what it is. I'm sure the modern people, the young modern people can relate to Facebook. Oh, just friend me on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever is out there. Okay, so it's the same thing. Um, so Mark would call me, and at first I was like, "I like that guy." I'm 17, right? I've got the world in front of me. I'm just like, "I like that guy," but I won't tell him I like him, right? So and he goes, "Oh, Andrew?" He goes, "Yeah, he's my buddy. He's my friend. He's a good guy." Okay. So he's trying to talk him up, which I don't understand because later on he was trying to ask me out and for me to be his girlfriend. So I don't know why he's talking up Andrew. This is significant for what I'm going to say. So we talk, and he called me and was probably talking about Andrew the whole time. Tell me more about Andrew. What's going on? And that was his hook, right? I know who you like, so you're going to have to come to me. Very manipulative, in my opinion. I mean, I'm hoping that the guy was harmless, in the long run. I mean, he seemed harmless, but again, that's kind of weird to be like, I like you, but you like somebody else, and so you have to come to me to get more information, okay? Because that's not the way liking works. You especially when you're like a kid like that, you like what you see, you like what is going on, and that determines whether you like somebody. It doesn't matter about anything else. So, I remember calling him, and he was trying to ask me out, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I never made it a secret. I like your friend Andrew." And he's, "Yeah, yeah, Andrew's a good guy, but he has a girlfriend." And I was like, "Yeah, what's going on with this girlfriend?" I was like, "She seems so pretty." I don't know what he told me about her. He probably spilled the beans on how she was an abusive, um, girl. And again, he's trying to talk me up. At some point in our conversation, as we're talking, not that day, but throughout the weeks or days or months or whatever it was, um, he kind of sort of asks me out. And now I was never reserved about liking Andrew. And I was just like, oh, he asked me out, and I was just like, oh no, kind of single. I'm playing the single scene and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, no, 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 that's cool, right?" Okay. So we're all hanging out at the arcade. We're all there, my friends, everybody's friends, because there's no place to hang out when the mall closes, right? I mean, we don't want to go see movies and we're not going to bars. We're all under 21. And so there's like nowhere to hang out. So we would all hang out here. All our friends would come, the guys would play video games and everything like that.